Hello, everybody. It's me, Oroness, with Riverside FGC. I'm here to talk to you guys today on YouTube, of all places. I know it's weird. First of all, I just want to say thanks for watching this video. As you guys can tell by the title, we got some stuff to talk about today specifically. It's kind of hard. I'm still trying to find the right words for it. I told myself I was going to do this video because just saying all the stuff I'm gonna say in this video, it just felt really fake if I just did it in a text post. You know me, I'm like a really open guy. I like to talk to you guys and just be open and honest. But anyways, let's just come out and say it. I'm not gonna be streaming anymore for Riverside FGC. And there's a lot of stuff I'm gonna go into later on in this video that explains why. But that's pretty much the whole thing. So I'm no longer going to be the face of Riverside FGC. I've done what I've done to get this community up and running. I know you guys are going to be saddened by this fact because a lot of you guys come to our streams, not just to fight, but just to hang out with me. And I really appreciate that. I'm not trying to make this all about me. I know. I know. We're going to get to some other stuff later on down the line. But just because I'm leaving doesn't mean that Riverside FGC is going to die. If it dies, like, because I'm not there, then I guess it was meant to be. You know what I mean? But we have some stuff in place for Riverside to continue on. And I guess the best phrase to say it is to keep fighting. You know what I mean? So I'm actually recording this on Streamlab OBS right now. I literally, it's so weird because I was just trying to find a recording device software that would just let me record videos without really being interrupted. I went online, just scoured for like 10 minutes. I couldn't find fucking anything. And then Random was all like, bro, just OBS says. I'm like, oh, okay, that works then. So, and it has nice stream graphics too, which I'm really grateful for. But anyway, so let me open up my notes. I had to write some of this stuff down, otherwise I would have like completely just gone off track. I want to try and stay focused on this. So the big news is, yeah, I'm going to be leaving Riverside FGC. It's been a really hard decision for me to make, but it's something that I think is going to be better for me later on down the line. Not streaming anymore, you know. So where does that leave the FGC right now, pretty much? So in terms of actually hosting events, pretty much every single admin that's in our Discord server, you know, let me just read them off really quick. We got Nox, we got Random, we got Terrible Choices, we got Tortilla, we got Trace, and we got Melody. You guys know them very well. And also Punky's in there too. But Punky doesn't really stream, which is okay. But these guys are pretty much going to be taking the reins from me in the sense where they're going to be hosting the streams from now on. So I guess the next question really is, where are these streams going to be held? Where are these events going to be held? They're going to be held on their own channels, and the Riverside channel specifically is going to be reserved for special events. You know, for like tournaments, locals, anything like super duper special. So yeah, like no more events on the Riverside FGC channel unless it's like a tournament or something like that, or whatever that they come up with. So it's very important to me right now that like I am completely transparent with you guys, because that's what I really wanted to do by making this video. Because I'm not trying to get sidetracked. I'm totally getting sidetracked, but I'm not trying to get sidetracked. But again, you guys came out and supported this community in the middle of COVID. I mean, we've been playing online for almost 2 years now. It's fucking crazy, but yeah, we've almost been doing this thing for 2 years. Like a year and a half, I want to say, year and 3/4, but pretty fucking close to 2 years, you know? And I'm just really grateful for the people in our admin group specifically for stepping up and, you know, talking with me about a lot of this stuff. And, you know, just really stepping up to the plate, because I have a lot of issues, I guess, that I'm going to talk about later. Again, I'm going to talk about that later on. But what this means for the FGC is that, yeah, like, you guys should go out and follow Random, Melody, Terrible Choices, Nox, everybody in our admin group that streams. please follow them, because that's where Riverside is going to go, essentially. That's where all the events are going to be held, and that's where, you know, most of the action is going to happen. They're all going to stick to like one or two specific games, so that way nobody is like really fucking completely worn out from playing so many different fighting games, because that's what was happening to me too. I was just playing too many different fighting games, and towards the end, you know, I just kind of just played Tekken and Guilty Gear, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I still love those games, don't get me wrong, but we really have like a good system in place to really replace what I was doing, if that makes sense. And it's the work is spread out evenly, so nobody gets too overwhelmed. I'm not exactly sure of the structure that they're going to have, like what days they're going to be streaming, what times and stuff like that, but I do know that they are going to be handling it in the nicest way possible. It's not my problem anymore, you know. It's like, again, we're going to talk about all that later, but I'm just really grateful for all the admins for really stepping up, and they're really good friends of mine, and I'm really happy that I started this thing and I was able to meet them, you know. So today's Monday, July 19th. I'm probably going to be posting this tomorrow because I have to do some edits, mainly like at the end of this video, and just you'll see it when you see it. But yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing. Give our admins about a week from tomorrow, so Tuesday. I'm fucking forgetting the date. I'm sorry. Tuesday, July 20th. Give it a week from that day before we really start seeing events again. Because they still got to talk amongst themselves. They got to figure out what they're going to do. But I assure you that when I leave, you guys are going to be in really good hands. As I say with my hands out. But you guys are going to be in really good hands with these people. And I trust them, you know. I trust them with my life sometimes. I trust them more than I trust myself, to be honest. So what else was I going to say? So there's a couple other things we should probably talk about. So the next thing is locals. As you guys know, that we've been running locals at the Temecula Esports Stadium. That's no longer going to be a thing. Those guys have been super nice and letting us use their venue, but as it stands right now, most of our people that do live locally, they live like in San Bernardino and stuff like that. So I'm not sure who's going to take over the locals, when the locals are going to come back, but I do know that they will eventually come back when things are a bit more stable and we really got a good foothold on stuff like that. So like I was saying, the Riverside channel will probably be for locals specifically, and tournaments sometimes at the same time, you know, local tournament or something like that. But everything else is going to be streamed on their channel. So like all the online lobbies for whatever specific game that those people are playing, that's going to be on their own channels. I'll be sure to link them down in the description of this video. Please go and follow them. I would really appreciate it. They fucking deserve it. They're so close to hitting like affiliate and stuff like that, and you know, these guys, they're amazing people, and you know, I can't stress enough how grateful I am for them. So but yeah, locals, they're looking at a venue over in Fontana. Again, I can't say anything for certain because that's, like I said earlier, in the nicest way possible, that's not my problem anymore. They're figuring it out, and I trust them wholeheartedly to figure it out and find a way to get locals back up and running. So the next thing I do want to talk about, and this is me speaking directly to the community in a specific way, I guess. So the biggest problem that I ran into with running Riverside FGC was that before I decided to stop streaming for my reasons, which again we'll get into later, but was just that there was so much fucking work. You know, there were so many events that we had to do. There were so many streams and so many different games that we just had to stay on top of. And you know, something had to give eventually. But to prevent that from happening in the future, if you guys are interested in hosting an event for us, we have a thing we're working on. It's called, random wrote it down, it's called the Riverside Roundtable. If you guys are OG members, you guys will probably remember the Streamer Initiative program. It's going to work something like that, where you host it on your own channel, you send people to our Discord, we'll make like a graphic for you or something, promote you on our social media and our Discord and stuff as like an official event for Riverside specifically. Or if you just want to like help out in the community in general, like if you really love this community and what we stand for and what we do here, and you just want to be a part of that, be sure to reach out to your admins. Once again, that's Nox, Punky, Random Task 1000, Terrible Choices, Tortilla Jackson. I almost said Jax on. I used to do that all the time. Trace or Melody. Right now she's going by Mega Mel, but she always changes it all the time. But yeah, so that's the big thing. If you guys are interested in helping grow this community and really making it about the community and just doing something for the community that you guys are a part of and that you love, be sure to talk to them because they would appreciate the help. I know for a fact that they would really appreciate the help. So the more people that help out, the less of a workload it is on all of us to make this a place where we all want to come and fight, you know, in the best way possible, like fight in the fighting games, not like fight in the fucking parking lot or something. So but yeah, that's pretty much it for that stuff. I'm probably sure you guys noticed I'm not wearing the Hawaiian shirt today, but I was just like, I just got home from work, so I'm all like, you know what, I just want to put on a fucking comfy shirt and just knock this out. So so this is now the segment of the video, I guess, where I'll talk about why I'm leaving, and there's a multifaceted story behind it, I guess, and this is probably going to be the longest section of the video just because I like to talk and there's been a lot on my mind with this sort of stuff. I hope I didn't forget anything. If I forgot something, I'll probably post it in like the description or something, like, oh, I forgot to mention this, I forgot to mention that. Wait, social media, I just remembered something. Social media, that's going to be handled by the Riverside admin team as well. I'm going to be basically handing over the keys to them. They're going to be posting, they're going to be exporting all their streams to this specific YouTube channel. So if you missed their live stream like a week ago or something like that, you just want to go back and watch it, it'll be on here. So on YouTube specifically. So that way we can have kind of a documentation. That's one thing I really wanted to do that I never really did, was export all of my streams to YouTube, because I just forgot. Honest to God, I just got really lazy with it, and I was just all like, oh, whatever, it's all fine. But that's another thing. So if I stop later on because I remembered something, I'm sorry. If I just remember something all of a sudden, I'm sorry. My mind just kind of works like that sometimes, where I just remember something when I'm in the middle of talking about something else, or I'm just all like, oh yeah, I should mention this. But as far as I know, that's pretty much it. Like, games in rotation, they're going to figure out all that stuff out. Days for streaming, scheduling, they're going to figure all that out. Again, it's in their hands, and I trust them. Honest to God, I trust them. So now I guess let's really get into why I'm leaving. So first off, it's just like, there's no real easy way to say this, I guess. It's just like, more and more as I haven't streamed, because the last time I streamed was last Tuesday, and this whole thing kind of blew up on Thursday. So it's been about 3 or 4 days, probably 4 days by the time this video goes live. And just the more I think about it, the more I discover about my issues and like exactly what's going on with me. So the first thing I should really talk about is that my mind's racing right now. It's like so many different things I could be talking about, but they all kind of lead into each other. That makes sense. I'm trying to find the right starting point. I tried to write it down, but again, my mind was just racing. I figure things out a bit better when I just talk about it, you know, and just, it leads me places. But the biggest problem right now is that I'm not using this as an excuse, more of an explanation. I really like that phrase, but I do have ADHD. And that's not really a big part of like the reason. Again, it's more of an explanation as to what I'm going to. But there's a thing with ADHD people that I'm slowly starting to realize more and more, is that they always like to be the center of attention. And I think I think I have a really addictive personality. And I think the thing that I'm really addicted to is just being in the spotlight and getting the attention of a lot of different people, you know? Like it's it's so weird to talk about. Like again, I'm going to go into it, but like the whole thing is just like I just really 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 like the attention, like to the point where it's really unhealthy. I'm sure you guys have seen in my streams, like anytime we get over like 7 or 8 viewers, I always have to mention, and I'm like, oh my god, we have this many viewers, thanks for joining us, guys, thanks for watching us, I really appreciate that. And it's like I cared too much about what other people thought of me because I wanted other people to come in here and have a good time, and I just really wanted more and more people to come here to give me that attention, you know what I mean? And it's something I'm realizing more and more, like with the stuff I do, just the random shit I say, or just the random shit I do in my own personal life, it just comes out. I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? You know, like literally, why the fuck did I do that? Why am I vying so hard for people's attention? You know? So in a multifaceted way, it's not why I started streaming, but it's a big reason why I kept on streaming. You know what I mean? There were so many points in the past where it was like I kept giving myself an excuse to keep doing this. And it was getting to the point where it was really affecting my personal life in really tangible, bad ways, where like it would be the only thing on my mind, where I would just want to come and stream and hang out and have a good time and like just completely ignore all my other responsibilities. Like it was really bad before I took my first break back last year. I think it was August or September, pretty much, where I took like a 2 or 3 month break or something till the end of the year. Then I came back earlier this year, and don't get me wrong, I got a lot better, but I'm still not at the spot where I want to be. And again, I just realized this a couple days ago. You know, it's so crazy how these things really just pop in my head like that, and I slowly just start to understand things, like the things I've been doing, the things my wife has been saying, the things my friends have been saying, and just the things that even some of you guys have been saying, you know, where I'm just like, I'm literally just addicted to attention. And some of you might say that like me doing a video instead of just doing like a text post like, hey, goodbye or whatever, some people might say like, yeah, that's kind of that you're still trying to vie for attention. And like at this point, I'm not entirely sure if that's true or not. Honest to God, like I have the reason. My own reason is just like I wanted to tell you guys all this because I wanted to be open and honest with my own community. And I felt like you guys deserved the truth, you know? You guys deserve to hear straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And I just felt like just doing a text post, just explaining all this, it would have been too much and just like just wouldn't feel real, you know what I mean? It just would feel super fake, and like this whole thing we built together just was nothing more than me being fake, you know? That's again some people might be all like, no, a text post would have been fine, you could have just did a text post. Like I would have like understood, I would have been like totally fine with it. But again, it's something in my head that's just telling me like, you got to do this video, you got to get it out there, you got to tell these people exactly what happened and why you're stepping down from all this, because you got to be honest with them, you know? You really got to be honest with them. So I deal with a lot of issues in my own personal life. I won't really get into those too much, but like I'll just give you kind of like the gloss over, basically, where it's like I'm not trying to blame anyone. I'm not trying to place the blame anywhere except for myself, because this is my fault. It's all my problem, you know? But like, you know, just growing up, being a kid with ADHD, again, I don't like using that as an excuse or anything like that, but you know, it's just the fact of my life at this point. Growing up with ADHD, it's like you were always that annoying kid in class. You always wanted that attention, whether it be positive or negative. And the older I got, the more I realized how much I kind of hated that part of myself, the ones that's always vying for attention. And I also realized that growing up, don't get me wrong, I love my parents, I love my mom, I love my stepdad, and I see him as my real dad for the most part. My dad and I, we had a whole talk like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, or something like that, and we're patching things up. Things are getting better, but that's besides the point. Where it's like the only real attention I ever got growing up was negative attention. You know what I mean? People would only tell me to stop doing things and don't do that, or don't do this, don't do that. I wanted people to look at me and want to see me and want to give me attention, but for good reasons, you know. And if it wasn't bad attention, it was no attention. You know, no one ever really paid attention to me unless I did something wrong. Like my fucking parents, I love them to death, but yeah, like they most of the time they would just leave me alone. You know, for better or for worse, they just left me alone to do my own thing, play video games, to fucking watch movies, watch TV, read, whatever I wanted to do. And the only time that they ever really paid attention to me was when I did something wrong. You know, oh, you're not doing your chores properly, you're not doing this properly, you should go get a job here, you should go do this, you should go do that. It's like it just rang in my ears at the fact that like I felt like I wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? It just, growing up, I always felt like I wasn't good enough. Was someone, oh, not important. That was my phone going off, but I'll call them back later. And that kind of leads into another thing where I don't feel like I'm getting older mentally, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm just kind of staying the same. I still feel like sometimes I'm in high school, like literally just graduated. I'm still the same dude who graduated high school all those years ago. I literally graduated in 2013. So it's just a long time to feel like you're not really changing. And I think the big problem is that I think I deal with my issues, but I don't actually deal with my issues. And I think I have so many big projects over the years. Like over the years, I've had so many different big projects where I wanted to get the attention of people to feel good about myself. You know what I mean? I just wanted to feel better about myself, and I didn't actually want to address these issues about myself. Subconsciously, of course, because I didn't fucking realize this until like 3 days ago, you know? And it's just kind of a life-changing event when you just realize something you've never realized your entire life, and it just kind of shakes you up, you know? So yeah, and just I thought I was getting better when I moved down here to Temecula with Jane, and we're super happy. Like, our marriage has problems, but it's nothing that can't be fixed. You know, no marriage is ever perfect, but I think me stepping down from streaming is going to be a lot of my mind, and I'm really going to try and get better. You know, I'm really going to try, and I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to talk to a therapist and figure out all this attention stuff and why I feel like I don't get enough and where I need more and more. And it's exactly like an addiction, you know what I mean? Where you just need more and more to feel satisfied. And to be honest, that kind of scares me. Just how far could this have gone if I didn't step down, if things didn't get to a point where I just needed to stop and take a long, hard look at myself and just realize exactly what I was doing. Yeah, things got really bad a couple years ago with my own self-esteem, and like we had a whole roommate situation. And if you guys remember, like 2 months ago or something on stream, I mentioned to you guys, I was all like, yeah, it's like it's really hard to forgive this person, but at the same time I really want to, because I really want to move on. And originally I used to think that the reason was because that person hurt my wife really bad and I couldn't forgive him for it, even though she had already forgiven him, and it's all said and done, it's all in the past. But here I was 3 years later, still haven't forgiven him, still angry about it, still incredibly angry about it. And then I really had to start moving on from it, you know? And I think that when I moved down here, I didn't have any friends except for my wife. And I love my wife. Don't get me wrong. I love my wife. I just wanted to be a bit more social with people. And all my friends from high school, pretty much, they've either changed to the point where I don't want to hang out with them, or they've moved, you know? There is no in between. Actually, there's a couple exceptions, but still, like, the exception proves the rule, you know? And finding our old roommate for the first time, and it was just like this whole different world for me, where I felt accepted, if that makes sense. And then just that whole thing happened, and I really got stabbed in the back, essentially, by him, you know? And again, I forgive him. Like, we've talked about it. I forgive him. I forgave him a long time ago, but that's when all this really started going on. I started the FGC, I want to say about 7 months after all that happened, like officially started it like about 7 months after that, because I just felt so lonely and I didn't get any attention, like not even negative attention, just no attention, you know, from people that I cared about. And, um, you know, doing this FGC and streaming, and it was really nice for a while. I think it was doing wonders for my mental health. It was keeping me sane, especially during the time of COVID, you know, where, I mean, I didn't really have too many friends I could see anyways, but if I could, you know, like, still, I guess that's besides the point. But I don't know at what point for me this became about the attention, because originally I just wanted somebody to play fighting games with. I just wanted to find somebody so bad just to play fighting games with, and now we got this whole community, and I'm really grateful for it. But yeah, I don't know at what point it stopped being about the community and started being more about me, and I didn't even realize it. It stopped being about the fights. It started being more about like, how much attention can I get from the audience? How many people can show up to a stream? Like, how many people are actually going to show up, you know? And just, it was getting really bad, and I didn't even see it, you know? I didn't even see it for the longest time. And to be honest, like, after I took my first break, I should have just called it quits there, you know, and just should never came back and just left it there. But what can you do? Like I said, I'm a lot better than what I used to be, but I'm still not where I want to be. I understand that this video is already super long and I'm kind of just droning on about it, but I promise that there's a point to all this. It's just like my own personal life. I have issues. My wife and I we're okay, but we have to work on some stuff, obviously. But like, I think that she's been changing a lot for me, and I think I've been changing for her, but I haven't actually, if that makes sense. And I think I really need to start looking at myself and figuring out what's wrong with me and really get some good help in order to get better and to be the person that I should be for her, you know, and should be for me too, for my own personal happiness. And like, another thing I realized the other day is that not only did I have too many projects. Oh, my computer went to sleep for a second. Hold on. My computer went to sleep for a second. It fucking freaked out on me. Hopefully that, I don't know what's going to show in the recording right there, but hopefully everything's still okay. But what was I going to say? Like 30% of the time, that 30% of the time when I'm like streaming or writing or doing something fun, you know, something to distract me from my problems, like playing video games, reading, watching a movie, watching TV, you know, like all that stuff, that 30% was the only time I really felt happy. The other 70%, I just felt miserable all the time, and I couldn't figure out why. You know, and I think it's because I was having these withdrawals from all the attention I was getting, you know, like all these attention grabbing things where I just want to make a name for myself and I want to do all this. I just want people to see me. And I don't think that's really healthy. And it's hard to admit to yourself that you're depressed 70% of the time, you know? And it's really hard to really address that. But now that I know, I can actually do something about it, I guess. There's so much more I want to tell you guys, but essentially I'm just rambling at this point, and there's no real point for me to keep going on with it. The biggest problem is just like I'm getting so much attention from this FGC and my streaming where it's becoming addictive, and I have a problem with that. And it's ruining a lot of stuff in my life where I'm depressed a lot of the time if I'm not streaming. I'm ignoring my responsibilities, ignoring the people that actually do give me attention and actually do care about me, and that will be giving me positive attention, you know, the stuff that I've been longing for. And it's just for the best if I step down, you know, for me and for my own mental health and for my own sanity. But this isn't going to be the end for me. I don't know if I'm ever going to come back to streaming. I might, but it's still way too early to like really tell. I don't know when I'm going to come back, but I know I'm still going to be in the community. I'm still going to be a part of it. I'm still going to be participating and fighting and all that good stuff. And you guys can still talk to me on Discord. Like anything I've said in this video, if you guys just want to talk to me about like some of this stuff, you're more than welcome to. Just be warned, if all of you fucking start talking to me at once, it's gonna be a bit before I can get to all of you. But I guess I should really just finish off on this. I really want you guys to know that every single moment I spent streaming with you guys, every single moment that I was on camera or just on the microphone, you know, all that was genuine. I hope you guys know that. Like, this community genuinely has made me the happiest I have ever felt in a long time. Not just with like the attention stuff, but I just mean like having people to talk to and having friends and just feeling accepted for the first time in my life somewhere where I've never really ever felt accepted before, you know. And you guys really made me feel accepted and cared about, and like my opinions fucking matter sometimes, you know. I'm still going to be a part of this FGC. I'm not going anywhere in terms of the Discord, but I'll still be there. I'll still be fighting. I'll still be fighting with you guys, but just no more open lobbies, no more streaming, no more like voice chat, like on stream specifically. You guys can still talk to me and you guys can still challenge me to a fight. I would love to fight you guys. But I just want you guys to know that I have never ever been fake with you guys. Please don't ever think I've been fake with you guys, because if you guys knew me actually personally, if you guys have talked to me one-on-one, whether it's at locals or online or just fucking in one of our events, or if we just commentated together on something, you guys would know that what you see is what you get. I'm a very excitable person, but I'm also like, I'm a very real person. Like, I say what's on my mind a lot of the time, and I don't like to bullshit people. You know, I don't like to lie to people. Like, I fucking hate lying. It's the worst fucking feeling in the world. But I hope you guys know I was genuine, and building this FGC, maybe it's not right for me to host something like this when I have so many other projects going on. I got my own personal life. I got my wife. Maybe in a couple years we're gonna have kids or something like that, and that's gonna be amazing. But I'm happy that we started this and what this FGC stands for. I'm really happy about it. I'm really happy that this is a place of positivity, and it's all about the fights. You know, it's all about having a good time. It's all about just meeting people that share a common interest with you and just having a fucking good time, you know, just having a couple good fights, because, you know, the FGC, it's so hard to find locally, and that's a big reason why I started it in the first place, was just I wanted people to play with locally and online, and you guys fucking delivered, and I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy about what we built together. I'm just not happy about what I did to myself and to the people I care about, you know, because of all this. So that's like that's the lore of Riverside FGC right there about me. And it's just, you know, I've unintentionally hurt a lot of people because I was so addicted to the attention and to the streaming and to all this other stuff. And I really want to get better. And I just want you guys to know I'm really grateful for you guys. And trust me, if I did this a video a couple days ago, I would be fucking bawling right now. I have better days, I have worse days. I know it's only been like a week so far, but like, you know, it is what it is. I love you guys. And again, please don't be worried. I'm going to be fine. I'll keep you guys posted about exactly what's happening in the Discord. You guys can talk to me and just check in with me and see how I'm doing. If you guys want to fight me, I'm totally cool with that. But just please do me one last favor and just trust in the admins that I've handed this thing off to. Just please trust in them. Please work with them. If you guys really do love this community and what it stands for, then just support them. They would really appreciate that. And I would appreciate that too. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for me for today. I don't know when you guys are going to see my face again. I'm going to show up to locals when those things come back up again. Obviously, just as a player, not as a streamer, but you know, you guys can always come and talk to me. You guys can always hang out with me and say hi, but I don't know when something like this is ever going to happen again with me streaming. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, you know, it just works out that way. But I love you guys. Thanks for helping me build this. And one last time. Oh, God, man. As always, guys, keep fighting. Take care of yourselves.